SBA EIDL Loan Bubble. With over $60 billion allocated to the SBA EIDL loan program and many businesses in rush to borrow under the program, I'm predicting that there could be a potential for an SBA EIDL loan bubble that can burst and backfire on millions of businesses across the United States. So in this video, let me go and break down my concerns and some of the reasons why I believe that there could be an SBA EIDL loan bubble that could potentially hurt the businesses across the country. Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Sam Kwok here, one of the Kwok brothers. And as you know, last few weeks, we've been tracking and following the SBA EIDL loan program, how it works and what the application process is like, and what paperwork is required to finalize a loan application. And I also applied myself and got approved for $120,000 under the SBA EIDL loan program, but I chose to decline it for many reasons. And I actually broke down the loan contract in my last few videos and explained why exactly I'm turning away from the EIDL loan. Now, after reading the SBA EIDL loan contract, it started to make me wonder and think about what are the potential consequences of millions of businesses taking the offer under the EIDL loan program. And further thinking led me to see potential cracks as well as how this loan could turn into a massive bubble that's going to backfire against the businesses. But first, before we get to the breakdown, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you want more updates about the SBA EIDL program. Our channel is regularly about real estate investing and buying rental properties, but we also, cover other financial matters that could be very important for your business as well as the business of the landlords and real estate investors. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. So first, what's wrong with the EIDL loan program? Well, it's nice enough for the government to have set up some sort of program to help businesses in case of a disaster, such as what we've seen in the last few months. But after reading the loan contract as well as the authorization agreement, there's some things that I particularly don't really like about this loan. And as I mentioned, I did make a separate video breaking down the entire loan contract. So if you want to see that video, go and check out the link down below in the video description. So first, the SBA is mandating strict documentation and record keeping requirement for all borrowers. Now, my opinion is that if you run a business, this should be a given, right? You should keep track of your books, you should keep track of your invoices and all the receipts that you've created. Now, there isn't a specific guideline as to how this needs to be done according to the SBA standards, but my guess is that if you've done your everyday bookkeeping with an accountant or a CPA, you should be okay for the most part. Next, the SBA requires that you use the funds only for working capital, and even within working capital category, there are certain items that are excluded from the qualified working capital expense category, such as physical repairs. So if you are a landlord listening to this and watching this video, any physical damages such as damages to your rental property or repairs that need to be done, unfortunately, you cannot use the funds for those types of repairs. So there are a lot of business owners right now that are wondering what exactly is considered qualified working capital expense that's specific to their own industry as well as their own business. Third, if you're borrowing more than $25,000 with the EIDL loan program, you are required to pledge an indefinite amount of business assets as part of the collateral. And if you wish to transfer or sell any part of your business or its assets, you have to get the permission from the SBA to do so. And again, these are only a handful of the requirements under the SBA EIDL loan program. If you want to see a full breakdown of the loan contract, again, the link is down below in the video description where I go and break down the entire loan contract. Now, the problem is that the provision within the loan agreement is all-encompassing and very vague, where it could cause some major confusion from the business owners. I mean, already, guys, from the last few videos that I've released, you guys had a ton of questions as to what you can and cannot use with the EIDL loan agreement. And unfortunately, not even CPAs and some of the attorneys that I talked to have the answers to some of these specific questions that you have about the SBA EIDL loan. But the SBA provision also includes a default clause that can apply civil penalty and fines for those that violate the agreement or default on the loan. So my biggest issue right now is that with the vagueness of the loan agreement as well as a lot of the unclear provision inside the loan, I'm kind of concerned that a lot of these business owners may accidentally violate the loan agreement simply because the loan agreement wasn't specific enough to address some of the concerns or the questions that the business owners had. And it's not because a lot of these business owners can't pay back the loan, it's just mainly because a lot of these other loan provisions inside the agreement that would constitute as default. I mean, without a more clear and detailed information about the loan agreement, the decision whether the business has defaulted or has not defaulted could remain arbitrary at this point. And of course, the biggest and the obvious issue right now is the fact that you didn't smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So go and take the opportunity right now, turn that like button to blue, and that's gonna help us a lot. Help us to get this video out to as many business owners as possible. Also, for the businesses that have borrowed more than $25,000 under the EIDL loan program, they have to pledge an indefinite amount of their assets, both tangible and intangible. So in case of a default, an accident default, what's not to say that the SBA can come in any time and seize all the assets and seize the entire business whenever they wish to. So my concern, guys, is that in a few weeks or a few months, small businesses can potentially default on their SBA loan accidentally, mainly because there wasn't a clear, detailed guideline as to what is considered default and what's considered a working capital expense that's qualified under the SBA EIDL loan programs. And many businesses could potentially lose their assets or entire business if they borrowed more than $25,000 under the SBA EIDL loan program. Now, this could also mean a wave of bankruptcy that could happen within the business owners, and this could interfere with the existing credit that the businesses already have that wasn't part of the SBA EIDL loan. So if I default on an SBA EIDL loan program and I have to declare bankruptcy, and that also affects some of the other credit that I've had, which I have not defaulted on and I was in good standing, and then it could trigger a secondary default on other debt and other loans that the businesses have that obviously weren't part of the SBA EIDL loan deal. And if I were to give you my honest opinion on this, I'm not a big fan of more control and restrictions that the SBA is placing on small business owners, especially in a dire situation and the effect of the pandemic that we went through in the last few months. I mean, I get that the SBA EIDL loan program is meant to be a lifeline, the last resort for many business owners, but so many businesses have been affected by this pandemic that any loan or any help right now seems very attractive at this point. And my fear, my concern is that business owners are taking the EIDL loan program without further consideration of the consequences and the restrictions that they would have with the program. Ultimately, the freedom that we have as business owners are being taken away by the EIDL loan program. I mean, for example, if I, as a business owner, need to make a rapid and fast decision that is a time-sensitive manner, for example, if I need to hire a new employee or I need to buy a new asset or sell an asset, I won't be able to do so without getting the permission from the SBA first. So therefore, there's additional regulatory costs of running a business, which again could slow down the economy, could slow down the growth, could definitely slow down how fast I can grow my business. Definitely not a big fan of all the things that I've just mentioned. I know at the end of the day that the SBA simply wants to help out the small business owners, but it's also equally important that as business owners, we need to understand what are the consequences of taking such assistance as well as taking on loans that are mandated by the SBA as well as some of the government programs that are out there. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, a lot of business owners are signing away on the EIDL loan program in midst of desperation and heightened emotional time, which, by the way, isn't a good mix when it comes to making good, sound business decisions. So what do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section down below. Will there be a major wave of SBA loan bubble? Or even if it's not a bubble, could we potentially see a wave of small business owners struggle even more because of the consequences of default or not having a clear guideline as to what the SBA wants within the EIDL loan program? And as always, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you want more updates about the SBA EIDL loan programs as well as investing in real estate investing, which, by the way, go and check out some of the other videos we have about buying rental properties and creating financial freedom through rental properties.